feel like I have so many things that I want to do, but also nothing that I have to do. Like, I have a lot of ambitions for where I want to take my career with the show, just general personal goals that just kind of feels like Pandora's box, and I just don't know where to go. I think my eyes are bigger than my stomach, if that makes sense. You guys ever feel that way? That's kind of what's been on my mind the past month or so since we last spoke. Just in case anybody was wondering. Anyways, good morning. Welcome back to the show. Today we're going to be talking with Castle, a cinematographer and photographer. We get into his work with brands like Vida, Loca and Bella Carts, his narrative work in My Eyes Are Green, as well as certain thoughts and approaches that he takes depending on the project type. But yeah, without spoiling too much of the episode, let's jump into it.
Work has been great. I can't complain. I'm busy, thankfully, and very lucky right now. So I'm very lucky, very blessed right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's been something that you've kind of worked on recently that you're like, this is really exciting for me?
I got to work on this project for an artist. I can't say who yet because it hasn't been put out yet. But yeah, I've been working with some collaborators on that, and it's been very interesting because I've been working different roles on it as well as I'm learning a lot. Thankfully, getting compensated, of course, but
Yeah.
I'm being able to meet like an artist that I got to listen to when I was younger, like,
Yeah.
and be able to see even like my brother who's a big hip hop artist, like hip hop fan, like talk about it. I talk to him about it and just be like, dude, like working with these people and it's like crazy,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not trying to geek out all the time, just be locked in, but
No, of course.
yeah, but it's been fun. Like I'm just blessed. Yeah, I'm very thankful and lucky, and even like being here to talk to you is cool. Like,
Thank you, man.
yeah,
I appreciate
it's an honor. Like I take every day like with a grain of humbleness, and just be thankful because tomorrow could just change. But I'm happy right now, very happy with the project, and it was something that happened just last minute.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to be able to help in any way possible on it.
Yeah. And I think like we kind of have to move like that, especially like right now, just given like work's been kind of scarce for everybody.
It is scary. That's the thing. That's what I keep saying. Like the beginning of the year was scary. Like especially as somebody who comes to LA a lot for work.
Yeah.
Like dude, like those fires, it drained out a lot of work. A lot of people were people that I knew that personally got affected, family members and stuff, and even to people I just met and I've worked with. Like I don't hear nothing now. It's just like it was a job that was in that time and it's gone now. But we're fine. We're here.
Yeah.
Like LA does, it prospers. So
yeah, LA does do that. Speaking of high profile artists that you've worked with, this just came to mind because we were talking about it just before the show started. You did BTS for the Doechii video "Denial Is a River."
Yeah, I did. Yes.
How did that come about? Were you at all intimidated by the project? Like, what was your kind of mentality going into that?
That thing, it was weird. Not weird. It was just crazy. So pretty much, I remember where I was that day. I get a text from the director, which is Carlos.
Yeah.
Carlos.
Yeah.
We went to high school together.
Okay.
So it's kind of crazy. Like we didn't talk. We knew each other, but we never talked to each other. And then as I started doing this thing, he started doing this thing. We kind of just kept in contact. And I had reached out, I think, a couple months or like whatever. I was not in the best headspace. Like I was but I was like reaching out to people like, hey, if there's any work, let me know. Like whatever it is, what it be. Like I don't care if it's free. I just want to work on whatever. And he hit me up one night. He's like, hey, we're doing the Doechii video. It's 2 days. If you're free, come through. I'm like, okay, bet. And he's like, And I asked him what he needed me to do, and he's like, I was supposed to take a photo for, like, there's a photo of him, Top Dog, Dochi, and his son Musa.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be me and my homie June, which we both got the same text the same night. And we're supposed to do that, but he just told us, hey, come hang out, take some pictures. We're not going to regulate you on anything, whatever you want to get.
Oh, wow.
Have fun. Yeah, just like, as long as we're not in the way of anybody, you know. Even too, I had to hop out and said, like, I just told them, like, pretty much I was BTS and a PA for the day.
Yeah, yeah.
But they gave me a walkie. I was helping out the second AD. I was talking to the gaffer for it and stuff like that. I got to see like, it's crazy, the cameras he shot on. It's stuff that a friend of mine shoots on. It's like those old skateboard cameras, like those
those
like Panasonic.
Yeah, with
like
that crazy like fisheye.
yeah, fisheye, yeah, like that. He shot on those, and it's kind of trippy to see it all rigged out, and like be able just to witness it, and like, and also too, like the DP, like it's crazy. Like, guy was nice, like pretty cool guy, and even seeing what he's done. But yeah, dude, that whole thing was a blessing, because I had told my girlfriend, like, a week before, I might do, like, if they don't do a music video for this, and I'm in the industry, like, by that time, I would love to do a music video for Dochi for that video alone.
Yeah.
And I had a whole pitch in my head, like, if I could do it. And then I get that text, like, oh, we're shooting it this weekend. Would you want to come through and see it? And it was like kind of like, I guess, manifestation.
Yeah, kind of.
It kind of worked out. It was like the same day, actually. Like, I remember that very vividly. And I'm like, it's cool. Like, it's trippy, like, to see, like I went to school with this guy, which he's a great director. He's been working at TD for a while now, which is give his props, you know. But also to be able to be in that room and just witness all these people, you know. And I've had my interactions with TD like once before, but now just be like to see like an artist that I love. Like, Dochi's rise up is pretty crazy. Like, my brother-in-law put me on it, and I've heard Dochi, but like her album is amazing. Like,
that last album she put out.
She
front to back.
She got her flowers. Like, finally, like, I'm happy to see like she's able to rise the charts. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, dude, just to be able to shoot. I got to talk to Zach Fox, who was there. I got to dab up Earl. I got to talk to who else, man? I was talking to Zach Fox. I was like, I congratulated him on his wedding with his wife and everything.
That's right.
Yeah, I dived him up. It was cool, and like everybody there was nice. I got to get pictures of everybody. I saw Ricky Thompson, Tizo, Schoolboy. It was like all these people like that are like Schoolboy Q, especially. Like, that guy's like a legend, especially like 2015, 2019.
Yeah.
Collard Greens, all that stuff. Like, that guy is the shit, you know. But like, it was cool. It was just like, it was trippy. Like, I didn't stay for the second day where they bombed the whole place, because the first day I was there, the second day I had a wedding I had to go to. So so I had that shoot. It was like a 12-hour day, and then on the night I had to leave to go to Vegas. Then in the morning, like at 5 a.m. So it was a long day, but it was dope, man. It was cool. Dochi was very nice. She's cool. Like, I don't really like, when it comes to seeing artists that I idolize or like, I don't try to strike conversations up, but like with her, like, I just thought she was on working mode. Like, she didn't, but it was really professional, and I think I'm glad, like, too, like, she got it. That video did really well. So to be able to witness half of the day, I didn't get to see the main thing, which is the explosion, but it was dope. Like, it's really cool to see all that come to fruition. So
yeah. I mean, outside looking in, it looked really like entertaining.
It was fun. Like, everybody was nice. I think like I have worked with some people, and they told me, like, you know, you got to work on some bad sets sometimes to learn like what not to do. And I've heard that a lot, and that's like, and I've worked on like some things that, like, obviously when you're first starting it's bad, but everything I've been on is like, especially that's like top tier, of course, professional level, but it's cool, man. Like, to see people still have a nice attitude, even like no one's honestly like in that ego set yet, but it's cool. Like, everyone's nice and chill. Everyone was on top of their game, and it was cool. It'd be dope to be in there.
I mean, you're working with your friends. You want to like be around people that you like, and that like you have a good creative synergy, you know what I mean? So you mentioned earlier, like, you kind of had like a pitch conceptualized, like a video idea. Maybe I won't get into like the specifics of what that video was, but like, was it close to what this ended up being?
No, it was like in a whole different thing, because I think for that track, it felt like a therapy session. Like, to me, that's what it felt like. It felt like she's going through her time, and like, it's a timeline, you know, like she could put those specific dates on the track. And like, I like that they made it into a sitcom. It's paying homage to like Fresh Prince and other things, you know.
100%.
And it's like cool, but my pitch, like, it was just one day. I was like, dude, here's what I would do if I could do it. Like, I would love to just, if I won't get into specifics, but like
Yeah, yeah,
it's funny because I wanted Issa Rae for it if I were to do it,
uh-huh.
and I seen that Jochi just did like a live perform not a live performance. I don't know if it's off the radar or like one of those like
It was something
or
for
off the mic.
is Genius. It was like
I
an
think it was Genius.
open
Yes,
mic.
she was performing that song, and then
Yeah, yeah,
Issa
yeah.
Rae came on. I'm like, dude, like it's crazy because I wanted her in that video, like to be the therapist. Because that's what I hear when I see it. It's like that Issa Rae gives me that vibe,
Yeah.
and it's like crazy. Like I was like, damn, like maybe I was on the nose for something, but it's like kind of trippy to see like all the stuff that I wanted it to do was like kind of like in some way there, but obviously, I think what they did was great. I would not have pitched a sitcom for that type of
Yeah,
thing, for
yeah.
sure. But
I think
I think it would have been a cool therapy session with like different visuals and stuff. But then again, I don't know. I'm not in that room to be able to pitch that.
yeah, I mean, you kind of manifested that in a
I
sense. You
did, yeah, a
connected
little bit.
I think the palette. I think you have a vision for, and then going into Issa Rae, it's like you saw that connection
Yeah, yeah.
somewhere.
It
You know
was
what I
there,
mean?
and it's cool. Like I don't know, it's just cool. It's trippy, like to be able to see that, like let's say like the artist is like sitting right in front of you, and
Yeah.
like I don't know, work in those environments. Because then yeah, I know, like for example, you've worked on like bigger things and commercials and stuff, and like
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure you see people like that like you've seen on TV, and it's like damn, they're a real person.
Yeah,
And it's like kind
yeah,
of cool even just to see like, and then you realize these people are still people, and then they're
yeah,
not any different any day. They just have more higher status, more eyes, but
yeah.
same thing. It's
Yeah,
cool.
they're just people. Like I think someone that kind of comes to mind immediately for me is like this experience I had with Sweetie.
Oh really?
I
Yeah.
did a show for Revolt called Respectfully Justin. It was like the
Okay.
second episode. I didn't do the first episode. The first episode would have been cool though because it was with Chris Brown. But
Oh
the
yeah.
second episode, I came on, and it was funny. I had to kind of walk in front of like where talent was sitting,
Mhm.
just because I was like trying to point to my gaffer, like doing the DP twiddly fingers of like
Yeah. What
I
you
want the
want
light
it?
to kind of go over here or
Uh-huh.
whatever. And she kind of like tapped my shoulder and was like, "What's your zodiac sign?" I guess they were like talking about it. I don't
Yeah.
know how that came up, but she tapped my shoulder and was like, "What's your zodiac sign?" I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm a Leo." She's like, "Oh my god, I'm a Cancer. I f***ing love Leos." I'm like, "Oh, that's great. I love Cancers."
Yeah.
I don't know anything about zodiacs, but hey, she likes
Hey.
me. I'm cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny that you kind of forget that they're just people.
Yeah, dude.
We view
Yeah.
them as like these crazy things because of how much like notoriety they get, and like
Mhm.
that was the time that she was coming up. She did that. She did one song with like Doja Cat.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forget the name. It was like Best Friend or something.
Yeah.
But she was on the come up, so there was a lot of eyes on her. I
Yeah.
mean, when she walked onto the set, like it was like kind of swarmed by some like media people,
Yeah.
and
Entourage, security, all of
she
that.
she
Yeah.
had like a decent amount of people with her. I think probably from what I remember it was like 5 to 7 people with her.
Dang, it's just crazy to have 5 to 7 people just
Yeah, just
right
with
there
you, just
with you
walking
for whatever
in.
you need.
Yeah, and even for the show, she was with her friend too. Like they
Yeah.
had like a bigger couch that they were sitting in. But speaking of, I'll touch on some other BTS that
Mhm.
you've done, but kind of to sidetrack from the Dochi video that you didn't get to do. I want to talk about a video that you did get to do.
Mhm.
It was a campaign for the spring collection for Mi Vida Loca.
Yeah.
How did that come about? I really like the video. I think
Thank
it's really
you.
interesting. I love the color palette and I love the composition selections that you made. And it's a
Mhm.
really simple video, but it really showcases the brand and what it represents in a really simple way. So
Yeah.
how did that come about? Have you done these sort of campaigns before? What was your thought process going into this?
So I've done some like I've noticed, like a friend of me pointed out, I do a lot more like fashion related stuff than I'd never really perceived until recently.
Yeah.
And Vida had hit me up, the owner, he hit me up multiple times. Like we were supposed to do a shoot for another collection like a month before. I think, and it was just, I think it was around the fires and it was always raining a lot. So I was like,
Oh
it just wasn't
yeah.
a day, it wasn't gonna work out for me.
Yeah.
And I had like a personal grievance I had to take care of. But
Yeah.
yeah, they hit me up and it's like, hey, dude, I just want you to do whatever you do. That's it. Like they kind of let
Mhm.
me get free reign. And I took it like, okay, I could just do BTS of this and just put out whatever video, or I can make it look like, I want to make it feel like it's a, because then I think too, it being a Latino owned brand, and
Mhm.
especially with the people that are in that brand, represent who they are, and I know them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I want to make sure that what I put out with them is like stands up for what their brand is, you know.
Yeah.
And it was something that he told me like, hey, dude, please, like, let's work on something, like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I had shot on like a little video like at a promote a car show, and that's when he hit me up. He's like, hey, I want you to do something for me. And we talked and talked and talked, and then we got into one day. He just hit me up, hey, we're gonna shoot this day. Come through. I bet. Me and my lady went. She always comes with me to help, and
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make sure that I could just kind of make it feel like you're there in that little moment, like them doing that, capturing those moments, you know.
Yeah.
But even to like the clothes, the models, which is funny too. One of the models, in there, we went to high school together too, and it's
That's
like kind of,
crazy.
it's like a small world type of thing, you know.
Small ass
And
world.
it's cool to see like those type of clothes, and especially what they put out. Like
Yeah.
I like it. You know, I bought like as somebody who like I know I'm not a big fashion guy. My
Yeah.
girl is. She puts me on a lot of the
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like with them, I'm buying the pieces. Like they had
Yeah.
put out a Dodger thing, like a Dodger World Series thing out, and I bought it. And a bunch of people came up to us and told us, "Oh, we like it," you know.
Yeah.
And it kind of sparked that relationship between me and Vida, Loca, and yeah, I did it. Like with all that stuff, I just kind of went in there like I'm gonna get what I think looks good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the day, it wasn't like I pre-prepped anything, which I probably should have, but it was just something that I went in there. I'm like, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
I feel like with a lot of shoots I do is just like, especially when it comes to like a campaign, especially if it's like a BTS thing, it's like you could do
Yeah.
whatever, free reign.
Yeah.
But with that, I was like, I want to get certain shots. I want to make sure like I like detail and texture in my work.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing I try to do,
Yeah.
and I want to get more of. But for that whole thing, it was dope, like from start to finish. The song was the hardest part to get down, like the
Mm-hmm.
song. But I had it went through my Spotify, and I was like, okay, let's see what we can get. And
What feels right? Yeah.
yeah, it's just 'cause I think the track is the biggest thing. Because then it's not really talking or like a lot of brands, they try to have like a message, like somebody speaking or trying to invoke what their themes are. But
Yeah.
with this, I just wanted to make you feel like it's a vibe. It's a brand that it's Latino. It's proud of itself, you know, and it's people that you see on the street every day. But
Oh, yeah.
there's a difference there in the brand. That's it, you know. So I
Yeah.
think that's what separates it.
Yeah, and then anybody, Hispanic, Latino, like I hold on to them close just because it's
Yeah.
like there's so few of us, and then there's even less who are like working in camera.
Exactly.
So that's why
yeah.
like Jonathan introduced me, and I was like, I gotta hold on to this guy, But talking about this project and something that I noticed like going into your work, you touched on textures, but another thing that I noticed is like it all feels very like observant.
Yeah.
Like you're not trying to be in the way. You're just like, just look at this right here.
Yeah.
Look at this photograph.
Yeah.
Not in the Nickelback sense, but look at this and just sit and watch.
Yeah.
And does that observy sort of feel something that you intend to do, or is it just like
I
a
think that-
byproduct of finding like a look?
I think it's just how I see the world. Like just any day, like a lot of times, like with a lot of conversations, even the ones we have right now, like
Yeah.
when I'm not talking to somebody, I'm gonna watch how someone else is talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
And just like it's a lot of things you pick up on. I think when in terms of like example shots and stuff, I want to feel like you're there.
Yeah.
Like you're watching it, and in a day, like yeah, it's on a camera, but in
Yeah.
a day you're there. You're able to see what's happening
Yeah.
and make it feel like, like you could feel it. You could feel what's happening and just be like, I'm in the present for like I don't know how long the video is, but like 2 to 3 minutes, whatever
Yeah.
how long it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I can hook you for that long, that's a great thing,
Yeah.
I think that's like the biggest thing is just be able to hook people and be able to make sure that whatever I put out and whatever I put into my work is that it's able to just say something or even not even say anything, just be able to make sure you can see something out of it. Whether
Yeah.
you like it or hate it, I think that's the thing. I just want to put stuff out that I love
Yeah.
and I enjoy. That's my biggest thing I've realized, like in terms of, I think you understand too, like whatever you put out is because we're proud of,
Yeah.
Whether it means something or not to everybody else, that's the end of the day. I want to make sure that my stuff just, it's able to be seen. It's just
Yeah.
cool. Especially in the market we're in, like there's so many people that are doing the same thing as us. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in terms of, I try to make it as just like we're there, Especially
Yeah.
when it comes to like a lot of campaigns and stuff, unless it's like very direct and specific, like guidelines, which I think know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
then that's different, But with this, like this whole thing is like I just came in there, we shot whatever we got. I had enough footage to cut over this thing, like, and I loved it. It came out great.
Yeah.
Proud of it, yeah. And I kind of just like they didn't really give me much notes on it. They just told me like whatever you feel is best, and I'm like
Yeah.
okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. I think with time, my sort of approach has changed. I used to be or maybe I felt like I was very like technical in my approach. Like everything was like, oh, it's got to be at this specific shutter, at this specific, like everything was like by textbook almost.
Yeah.
And then as I started to work more, I'm like, oh, this feels right.
Yeah.
Let me trust that. And I think it took me a while to get to that point, but I'm glad like you're in a place where you're like, this feels great right here.
Yeah.
Like intuition is just there.
I think though, I think that like being able to be technical is a big part of doing what we do.
Of
For
course.
example,
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Somebody also told me that like I have like I guess like just like intuition or whatever about it. But I know like dude, if I had the technical, it would look 10 times better.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have both of those to combine. You know, especially like for being a
Yeah.
DP. You know,
Mhm.
like you have to. You're controlling 2 units. You're controlling camera team and gaffing, and you have to combine both of those technical elements into a creative thing. You know?
And then you're the bridge between production, and you have to leeway all that information.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But no, I think like the fact that like you said like now you don't do it, but dude, that technical prowess, that's like a muscle. You know, like that's something that a lot of people don't have.
You got to keep exercising.
Exactly. It's something that it's reps. It's a workout. You have to keep working it out. And I think you being able to be technical is a gift. To be real with you, it's something I'm trying to learn currently. Like I went to school for film and stuff like that, but yeah, like it's something I still need to learn. I feel like I'm too ignorant to it a little bit, but as I keep doing it, I'm like, dude, like you have to. Technical and creative has to be. It's 2 things that work together.
Yeah.
You just have to work it right. You know.
Speaking of technical, because we're kind of talking about like being more technical. This to me looks a little more, I guess, by textbook. Albeit it looks really good, but I just wanted to mention it just because I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
The plastic collection for Bella cards.
Oh yeah.
That first piece that you have with the with the beanie and the Yankees hoodie, that looks very like. I feel like maybe it's like a fashion thing. I don't work too much in fashion, but I guess maybe part of it is like they want to be pretty clear about where pieces are presented and how they're kind of perceived with like models and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you feel that way for this particular shoot, or was it kind of the same mentality?
When it comes to photo work, I try to be as cynical as possible.
Yeah.
It's something I feel like is my Achilles heel in terms of photography work, because I want to be because photography is very creative. You know, it's very like. You have to get a certain look and certain thing, and especially people like style.
Definitely.
But with this, it was like they want e-commerce. So I'm like, okay, bet. And they said we're gonna get e-commerce, and then as well, if you can get certain looks that you want to do, I'm like, okay, bet.
Yeah.
I hit like the 10-2 lighting hit. So I did like a little key in the front, a little key in the right side right here of me, and then a little like a backlighting, and then just use strobes, and I make sure that everything's dialed in. And yeah, just basically get what I want in terms of that. And I feel like too, especially with terms of clothes like this, I want to make sure I get the detail of it. Because at the end of the day, like it's like a leathery feel, or even the beanie, like it has words that say on it. So I try to make sure like I get it as technical as possible, and then obviously interject the creative intuition. But yeah, technicality is big. For photography, for me, is like the technicality is like the most important thing.
Yeah. And it definitely, like, you know, especially you talking about textures, there's so many like different, like there's this guy in like a striped, you know, like dress shirt, right? And then there's this other like headpiece that's like a little bit more like it looks like leathery, but I don't know if it would be leathery. But yeah, certain textured bits where I'm like, oh, this is really like highlighted, and it looks really well done.
I think in terms of clothing, you want to make sure that's the hard part. Like I know these people, like certain brands, like they make their own stuff from hand. I feel like if you can make sure you can get like the hard work they put into it, you know, that's the biggest thing. Just like same thing, that's why I like photo and video, mainly video more, is like you can get more of that, you know.
100%.
Especially texture, like in terms of details are the biggest thing, just in anything, you know. But that, like photography wise, technical, video, I try to go more off intuition. But
speaking of details, this is kind of a little bit of a 180, but it all feels very thought out. The wall to wall kind of BTS photos that you did, it all feels like organic, but it also is like here. Like it all feels like really well curated. And talking about details, like there's like little moments that you get where it's like it kind of looked like they just kind of paused and was like, let's wait for this photo to be done. Was that same approach applied to these, or was it similar to the Dutch where it was like free ball?
For that, it was free ball. This one was free ball. It was the creative director he had hit me up like it was. So we were in New York. We had went for our anniversary with some people, and I had met one of another artist there. Like just we stumbled upon each other, and then I took some photos and sent it to him, and then they posted it, and then his creative director hit me up the same day of the music video. Hey, we
Whoa.
need somebody to shoot BTS. Are you free today? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I leave at 3 o'clock that same day to back
Uh-huh.
home, and I was like, okay. Should I just not go? Should I just push my flight tomorrow and just go to this thing? So I feel like that's like it's like a rare thing to be asked, like, oh, just come and set and like do photos for
Oh
Quavo
yeah.
of all people, you know?
Quavo, yeah.
Yeah, and he said, you just need photos. Let me know. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do it. I put my flight to tomorrow. The next day, I went
Uh-huh.
and pretty much went there, and I got to meet all these people. Like I think he wasn't there till like an hour or two after we were there,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, he like when we got there, he was rolling. Like it was like just keep it going, and I try to make sure I can just make sure that he looks good,
Yeah.
and capture everybody. Like, cause I like to get, especially as somebody who's part of the crew, make the crew look good too. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like I met the Steadicam operator. I think his name's Cole, I believe, and
Mm-hmm.
nice guy. And I try to make sure I get photos of him, but mostly it was Quavo, and then also too like even the people who are extras for him. Like I try to make sure I just capture it because I didn't too like. It's as much as it's for them, it's for me too. You know, I want to
Yeah.
make sure I look good while they make them look good.
Definitely,
So,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah, it was free ball. Like in the day, like especially when you have a digital camera, you just be like just hit like a nice like a mid to high shutter and it's blasted, man.
Yeah.
Just let it hit. You know, it's not like I'm on a film where I have to keep silence low, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was very free ball, and I just was they thankful I was able to capture those moments. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a big thing that I think like kind of changed my life for the better of like just pushing me where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Cause I wanted to do video, and I got to see like what those sets were and like how it is, and even like meeting the director and stuff was like it was cool. It was like dope, and I got to do so many. I got to meet Quavo. I got to meet a bunch of the people who were there and just
Yeah.
network it. But yeah, it was all like free. But everybody was nice, was chill.
Yeah.
So no
Yeah.
one was really like pressing me about it. But it's cool, and I got them the photos the same night. Yeah,
Oh wow, that's
yeah.
incredible. Yeah. You're just like on the plane, just like
No, dude, like we were waiting
Oh
on an
yeah, you
appointment.
pushed it back. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
pushed it
yeah,
back, and
yeah.
I got back like around. There was one more set piece they had. It was like in the
Yeah.
subway cart.
Uh-huh.
And I was tired. I was like, dude, like
Yeah.
I need to head out. And I was like, and we're in the subway tunnel, so it was like kind of steaming. Like it was like
Yeah.
20, 30 people in there. It was kind of
Yeah.
hot, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, everything was cool. It was fun. It was
Yeah.
dope, and it was like cool to like see like that artist, like kind of surreal, like.
Oh
That's
yeah.
really Quavo right there, walking in
Yeah.
front of me, man. And
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
was cool. It was dope. Yeah.
Yeah, talking about being like surreal, were you at all like, whether it was for this or for like another artist that you've worked with, are you ever intimidated at all? Like, understandably, like you mentioned, like seeing those kinds of sets, seeing, these sorts of artists, is that like, are you at all like feel some type of like imposter syndrome by that? Or are you just like, we got to roll with the punches? Like,
A little bit of both. I
yeah,
think usually what I do is even with jobs I do today, I'm like I get that imposter syndrome right before I get into the wherever I'm going to. I'm
yeah,
like I don't even want to do it anymore. Like,
yeah,
and then I'm there and it just kind of fades away and it's just okay. Here we are. We got to do it, you know. And then they like, it's this is kind of like your reputation right now.
yeah,
Like work it, do a good job, and get out, you know.
yeah, yeah,
And so yeah, I'm intimidated always. Like I saw an artist I'm gonna go see in concert next week, and like it was like trippy. Like I might do this. It's like trippy to see these people like really exist.
yeah,
You know, and I'm like, but I'm like, dude, I have to work. I can't chit chat and be a fan
yeah,
in the corner. You know, I'm like,
yeah.
no, like in the day I have people I'm working for, and
Mhm.
I got to make sure I do my part. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%. I get that imposter syndrome all the time. It's a normal thing I think to
Yeah.
feel that. But then they do like I said, they're people, you know.
Yeah,
They're
100%.
people, and it's cool. Like you said, like even how you said, like you can strike up a conversation just randomly about random
Yeah,
things. But even to ask
100%.
them how their day is going, you know. But it's I get a little bit of both of those. It still happens to this day. I don't think it's ever gonna go away. So.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like in the beginning of my career, especially, I was like
Yeah.
working with this, whether it's like this sort of production company, or this sort of like talent, or this sort of camera, whatever it was. Like I remember the first time I worked with like an Alexa Mini,
Yeah.
and it was like a few years after they came out,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember we weren't able to get a prep day
Yeah.
because like the PA was picking up stuff, and we just didn't have time for a prep day.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, how do I do this?
Yeah, dude. It's
I was
scary,
like,
especially with those cameras. Like
Yeah.
I've operated myself before, and like
Yeah.
even helping out with like self, you know.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's it feels like you're trying to like work like fix a car
Yeah.
without any instructions to
Yeah.
it. Like you're just like,
Yeah,
even though
right.
dude, it is pretty simple. Like when you work on those cameras, it is
Yeah.
pretty simple when you
Super
get done.
intuitive, yeah.
Yeah, it's like this thing goes here, this thing goes here. You know,
Hmm.
especially like you said, no prep day, and that's your first time working on it.
Yeah.
That is nerve wracking. I bet.
Yeah, super intuitive. But what I was gonna say was like kind of what you were talking about. Like you get into the rhythm of it, everything is like fine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for me, like if I ever have those moments of like, "Oh, what do I do?" It's always like right when I hit. This is what I always tell people. I'm like, the moment you hit speed on the camera, once the
Mm-hmm.
camera's rolling, everything like clicks.
Yeah.
You know, like I told Jonathan the same thing when we were shooting this ad. He was like,
Yeah.
I don't know about this. Da 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 da. I'm like, dog, it'll all make sense when camera's rolling.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's just like at that point like the fear can't be in the way. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, we have to do this now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
You
think
know
in
what I
terms
mean?
of what we do, it's like that's 100% true. Like once you hit record, that's it. That's
Yeah.
the first tick of the day.
It all clicks.
It all starts. You know,
Yeah.
there's no going back. And I
Yeah.
think I need too if you're scared or like you said having imposter syndrome. Like I think you're meant to be there. You know,
Yeah.
that feeling you get is a sign of like I'm meant to be here. Let's
Mhm.
show out. You know,
Yeah.
and I think too it's like I'm pretty sure if you've played sports, you know, like it's the
Yeah.
same thing. Like the game, before the game starts, you're like, all right, dude, let's get going. You know, whatever
Yeah.
happens in the field, it stays on the field. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like that same thing, like you said, which is true. Once you hit record, once it's like that's the first take of the day.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes, and
Yeah.
then you know, any of the cool and the bad thing with life, you know, in terms of even working, is like
Yeah.
it can go super planned and super unplanned, you know.
Mhm.
But you said too, like those little feelings you have, it's like I think in a day your body's just prepping you for what's gonna happen, you know. Because then it the
Absolutely.
same, and when it's all said and done, you did it.
Yeah,
It's,
it's done.
it's like ripping off a band-aid. It's over with.
It's like getting a shot at the doctor. Just
Exactly.
the one needle and you're good.
It feels like it's forever, but then boom, it's like a minute.
Yeah.
And you're done, dude. You know, nothing to worry about. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Talking about like those immediate feelings on set, kind of in that same like vein of thought. You know, work's not been great for everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess for you at the beginning of this conversation, work's great, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But you know, there's certain moments, like I think just in general, as like a filmmaker type or as like a creative type, there's always these kind of like highs and lows that we have. I'm wondering like, how do you kind of navigate that sort of mental aspect of your work? Do you have like regimens that you stick to where you keep your mind in check? Do you just not and then just say, F it, we're gonna burn out? Like what is that mental aspect of yourself look like?
I would say I think it's something that I can't say I have true like great knowledge and experience on, because it's only happened to me twice. I've had those lows. When those lows come, they hit hard, dude.
Like a truck.
It hits like because you get in those little ruts, and it's because it's not because you're not creative or anything. It's just because no work's coming in.
Yeah.
Especially for when you're working for money, you know, like that's when it's scary. Like, it's like, damn, dude, like, am I gonna be able to pay my credit card bill off when you're spending more when you have and all these other things, you know.
Yeah.
But like how to deal with it. Honestly, what I've learned is just to watch something like a movie or something and just kind of escape for a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
I think too, even because I experienced it twice. I experienced it when I just graduated from college,
Yeah.
which was last year, until I had a graduation party, and then it happened again when I first started doing freelance. It's like two of these things happened back to like within a span of a year,
Oh wow.
and it wasn't just because. And the thing is, too, you get in your head like, oh, it's me, like I'm not good enough, and this and that, you know. And like in the day too, like I had this conversation yesterday, like, you know, it's you versus you moment, you know. And then like you can let these lows beat you, you know, and they can, you know, it sucks, but
Yeah.
you can't, you know, like especially like because when you have those highs, like right now, like I said, it works great. I'm preaching
Yeah.
for this and works great, you know,
Yeah.
everything's great. I
It's
can't
picking up
complain.
a little bit,
You know,
yeah.
it's picking up, and you know,
Yeah.
slowly but surely, you know, and then you get the flow. But I think I don't have any right way to do it. I just feel like it comes, you know. And it's scary, you know, because you
Yeah.
can't, especially because it's mental health, you know. Then
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's you get in your head like there's times where I was like wasn't working for like a week or two, and it's like dude, like what do I do? Like I'm like I'm pretty much in my room not doing anything. It's not like when I was in high school or when I was a kid in summer vacation where I can enjoy being not doing anything. But now
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
especially when you're doing this for a living, it's like you have to be doing something. Being productive is like the biggest thing, you know?
100%.
Like, and I think recently too, like, thankfully, like, example, like, I've been working, I've been picking up working out again, and like
Yeah.
trying to get into the gym, get my fit right. So,
Yeah.
and say I hit those lows again, I think going to the gym, going to watch a movie, like, that's maybe going for a walk, you know,
Yeah.
and even talking to friends,
Yeah.
talking to family too, talking to whoever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
I would say definitely just talk to people. Because
Yeah.
also too, you get in your head, you know,
Yeah.
and reassurance of yourself, and you know, because I don't know, I don't think there's a right answer to it.
Yeah.
For sure, like
Yeah.
I don't know if you maybe you do maybe enlighten me on that, but I have no
It,
clue, to be
I
honest.
mean, I mean, for me, it's kind of been different as certain phases of my career have happened, or where I've just been like, just in life personally, and that sort of thing. Because I mean, like, I had like a grievance in the family, like kind of happen like beginning of last year,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of led to this whole like catalyst of like I need to change a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so in that, I've kind of slowly started to discover like what does that conversation look like, and that's the reason I proposed this question. So here's what I've gathered.
Yeah.
I do see movies. That is very helpful.
Yeah.
Talking to friends is nice, especially like creative friends, just to be like, am I tripping for feeling this way? Because a lot of the times, like you're gonna be feeling the same way as like other people have, or somebody else has experienced the same feeling of like, burnout, for example.
Yeah.
Like everybody's dealt with that.
Yeah.
Those sorts of like, as far as like career goes, like that's, talking to other people and being like, am I tripping? Like on my studio mates, like we kind of had this conversation yesterday
Yeah.
of like, we were talking about like Sinners and kind of that contract that he got, that
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler got, and we're all like, damn, we'd all kill for that contract. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
think anyone would. Yeah,
You know
it's
what I mean?
something-
Or just like to be like, at least in my case, like I would have loved to have been like the DP on that, because like shooting IMAX sounds like crazy. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
dude. It's the IMAX and Panavision
Damn,
65.
Panavision, are
It's
you
crazy,
kidding me?
dude.
Like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
so jealous. Yeah. But, yeah, I would say, at least for myself, what's worked is like talking to people, seeing a movie, just getting some fresh air is big. Like, I'll go like on a drive on like Sunset or something.
I need to try that. Yeah, I like the late night drives, but
Yeah,
Sunset
yeah,
I never
yeah.
tried that one. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do it at night, because I don't know, at least in my experience, your brain is like a child.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the moment you drive, you see all the twinkly lights, you're like,
You get your main character moment.
Yeah. You're like Drive, you're Ryan Gosling. We're
Yeah.
all Ryan Gosling. But, yeah, it's just like I purposely have the windows down, make sure I get some fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
Journaling definitely helps. If you can't talk to somebody about something, at least get it out of your system. You know what I mean? Because you hold it all in your chest, it's gonna bleed out somewhere.
Yeah, my girls told me to do that. Like journaling, I had to do that for a project recently just to get my thoughts out, and journaling does help. I never really saw the therapeuticness in it, but yeah, writing it out, it does help. Yeah, I need to try that. No, if I get in those lows again, of course, but it's something. Yeah, that's a good idea to journal it out. Yeah, write it out at least.
Yeah, journaling's been helpful, just to be like, you know what, let me put it let me take my anger out on here, whatever I'm feeling or whatever it is, like just write a bunch, or maybe write like a paragraph or a sentence. Like sometimes it's all like an entry will be sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think too it's good for you to even look back at it and be like where you are now versus when that time was too.
Yeah, and it's a chance to reflect on being like, you know what, this is something that I've grown into. This is something that I then know how to navigate that conversation, and being able to reflect with yourself especially is like incredible. I'm sure like you look at like, just to tie back into to filmmaking, like I'm sure you look at older projects that you've DP'd and you're like, oh, I would not have made that like
dude,
decision.
of course. Yeah, I think but that's the whole point of growth. You know? I think a lot of people don't think filmmaking is like growing as a person. You grow like how you, like you said, technical stuff or even creative stuff and intuition, all these things. Like it's tons of things where you're gonna take. Like, at the end of the day, I always call it like it's one step forward, two steps back, type of thing. Like, because any day we're gonna critique ourselves, especially when it comes to like watching these movies and other things, and be like, dude, I could have done this, and then blah blah blah. But 100%, like there's stuff that I've done on my dude. If I did that today, it would have been way better. Yeah. But then again, tomorrow I probably might say the same thing for another project I do. Like, and I think too, like, it's cool to see the project, especially what we do, like video and photos, 100%. Whatever. You get that list forever.
Because you can literally see it.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, like I don't have to think of back on a memory. It lasts longer too. That's a good thing in terms of, and that's a cool thing with our industry. Like, you know, like we are very fortunate to be able to like see everything, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
everyone's able, and more people are able to see it. Because think about,
100%.
I was thinking about it yesterday, like man, like if I was doing this now, it'd be hard. Like if I was doing not now, but I was doing it back when no one had phones, no social media.
Oh, it'd be so
It'd
hard.
be hard. It'd be super hard.
So hard.
Like I can't imagine even getting to half the rooms I've been in if it wasn't for
Oh, 100%.
these platforms. To be honest,
Yeah,
yeah.
shout out Instagram,
Shout
shout out
out
Nova,
Instagram.
like
Yeah.
those two.
What is your thoughts on Nova right now? Because I've been talking about it. I know maybe it's a touchy subject. I don't know.
You have Nova?
I have Nova,
You have
but
Nova.
I've seen like they have a little paywall thing now.
I did the free trial.
How is that?
There is significantly less applicants.
Mm.
Like for jobs that used to be like 80 or 90, now it's like 20.
Oh really? So it
Like
cut it down
it's
massively.
significant. I figure it's going to be even less whenever they stop issuing the free trial. I figure they're just doing the free trial just to get people into the gate, and then they're going to start paying for it. But I will say, prior to, I don't want to say I have like a full opinion on Pro yet, because I literally just enabled it like yesterday.
Yeah.
So it just feels what it was before, but I'll kind of get into what I think about like the app as a whole. I think it's a nice way to kind of curate your work and kind of network with people outside of an algorithm.
Yeah.
Where it's like if you're on Instagram or if you're on like maybe like a TikTok or something, you're kind of lenient on like the way that your work is perceived in like that For You page or that recommended page.
Yeah.
And I think to not have to worry so much on that and like have a guarantee like, oh, certain people are like seeing my work or like certain creatives are seeing that like, hey, I'm active, I'm doing this, da 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 da.
Yeah.
I think taking the whole algorithm aspect of it is kind of great.
Yeah.
And I like the way that they're sort of allowing people to kind of present their work.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it consolidates things, especially like if you don't have a website. I mean, you have a website, it's phenomenal. But like outside of that, like it's cool to kind of showcase like instead of like, oh, follow me on IG, you could do like a follow me on Nova if you decide you really want to.
Yeah.
But I think it's an interesting approach to kind of this creator economy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be again, I've only had it for maybe a year, so it'll be interesting to see kind of the way that the platform evolves. And I know kind of with this pro version, they kind of mentioned like they're going to develop like a payment system for stuff, which I'm like, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I seen they're trying to eliminate 30s now. They're trying to make it so you get paid as soon as you're done with the job.
Yeah, that would make my accounting so much easier. I don't have to chase money, you know what I mean? I mean, what do you think of Nova? Have you found it to be like super positive?
I think it's positive. Dude, it's 100% positive. I think like the fact that a lot of people have been like people even I know like they got styling jobs, they got in other things to it, and it's like cool. Like it makes it easier for you to like be like I need this position filled. You see all the candidates, and it's more like especially with how they implemented the system now, where you just put whatever you worked on like into the category, like if they need a videographer or a DP or whatever. Yeah. Which is like you can kind of like at first it's like I seen you had to like message them and kind of like pitch yourself a little bit. But now it's like you can add what you've done in the past onto it and then pitch yourself still. But I think it's dope. I right when I was gonna get like more into it, like I started updating it finally, and then now it's like like even just to apply, I have to do a payment thing. Like, which is like the only bummer I think definitely. But I get it because we are in a economical state of the world right now where it's difficult for everybody. So
100%.
Yeah, like not to be Jane Smith or something, but like that, like it's hard. It's hard, especially as people. You want to help people, but you gotta help yourself.
I wanted to touch back on like the mental stuff and like the complex emotions of things. We won't get into that again, but there was a project that I saw that like really caught my eye on your profile. That touches on like complex emotions. My eyes are green, which just based on the stills like on your website, like it's a little bit of an older project. I'm realizing.
No, it's something that got me more into DP, and so I'm thankful for that project. It got me more. The director Tana Bass, great guy. I've worked with him on 3 projects, and 3 shorts that we've done with him, and he's let me really like just do my thing on it. But yeah, in terms of that, it's a thing of envy, That's what it is. That's the whole premise of My Eyes Are Green. Yeah. But I like it because it's a very short story, It's like 2 minutes or less, and it gets to the point. like I gotta do some cool shots with it, and just it's basically running gun stuff, but
Yeah.
it look cool. I'm happy with it, you know.
Yeah.
Very lucky and fortunate. Like that's one of the, if it wasn't for him, to be honest, him and other people like definitely would be in a different place in terms of DPing right now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
kind of gave me that. He's like, hey, let's shoot something, and the first project was See Me Burn, I think, and then My Eyes Are Green, and then we did another one, and it was dope. It was awesome. I
Yeah.
really thankful for those three shorts.
Yeah. So was this was sort of your first like narrative experience?
No, it's not my first narrative experience, but in terms of like short, like a little short form like content like that, yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely like in terms of like turnaround and all these things, yeah,
Yeah.
it was something different because I've worked with people who like really go hard on like the short film format. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, we gotta get $5,000 for funding and
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
rent out gear and all this stuff, which
Yeah.
is like, yeah, I agree you need it, but then it's like it's hard to make a short film, you know,
It's really
especially
hard.
it's
Yeah.
really hard. It's like it's a lot of planning. Like you're planning on something that like, you know, people you require like 20 to 30 people to do. It realistically if you want to do it right, but
Yeah. 100%.
like you could do it very minimal, but it's hard. It's a hard thing. So
Yeah. 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 How different is your approach from like short films versus like music video or like an editorial thing? Because in my experience, I feel like I approach them like completely different. I feel like short films, or like anything narrative, like I really try to be particular and like I really try to like get into the nitty gritty of like planning every little detail of
yeah,
like
intentions.
we want to see this, we want to see this, you know, and kind of like, you know, less off the cuff. And I'm wondering, is your approach kind of the same, where it's like completely different? Is it similar? You know, what is sort of your dialogue? How different is your dialogue with like the director, for example?
I would say it does vary. Like for a music video, it's money shots. You know, you
100%.
have to make sure you get every shot has to look good.
Yeah, the
Like,
interesting compositions.
Yeah,
and,
it has to be crazy camera movement or crazy angle, all these things. You know, so like because any day it's like music videos are not about like logic. They're more about a feeling. And it's a visual representation of what the song is, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then obviously like narrative or short films, like, yeah, particular, like example, like I try to make sure we don't just do cool shots just because it looks cool. It has to mean something, you know? Like it sucks to be that guy because as a DP, I feel like I realized you have to be the realistic person in the room, especially when it comes to shots and everything.
100%.
Like making sure that, okay, like if we're going to do this dolly zoom, okay, it looks cool, but why are we doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like it has to be intention because at the end of the day, it's a lot of these things have to make sense in terms of setting up.
Yeah.
If it's not really a point shot, let's focus on it. Because then it is in terms of, you know how it is.
Yeah.
It's a 12-hour day goes like that.
Yeah.
So, like especially when it's a project when you have to keep moving.
100%.
Like, and it's a narrative, you know, like, and the narrative is usually like it's 5 pages per day, you know, it's 5 minutes of whatever you're shooting.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot of time, you know.
Yeah.
But a music video, it's the same thing you're still moving, but at least with those, it makes sense. Like, and then everything's planned out where all these shots are gonna be used. Even if they're not used, at least you're gonna use them in some capacity, even if it's a quick cut, you know.
100%.
So,
yeah,
I think all of them are very different, you know. But I think as a DP, and you know this more than me, but you have to be particular. I think in everything, like make sure it makes sense, especially when it comes to setup time. Like making sure that if I change this to another lens and I put it at a high angle, I have to ask G&E and help me out to rig up something like specific. Like it's a lot of time constraints, you know.
Yeah.
So I think I approach is like, okay, we can do all the cool stuff,
Yeah.
whatever it's narrative, whatever, but let's make it make sense in terms of time.
Yeah.
Because time we can't get back.
Yeah, I definitely, especially for like short film stuff. Like I did a horror piece in December, and that was kind of my first time kind of doing horror, and it was like a really like, how do I navigate that conversation? And the director was helping me out with that because he had done more kind of horror, but a lot of that conversation was like, he liked my existing look, and he was just kind of like, I trust your taste. Let's do this.
Okay.
Like, oh, okay, great. So the conversation, I feel like you understand this. Like, it's just like, it just becomes more like managerial and more about like logistics, because you're talking to like the first AD, like, can we grab one more shot? Or can we or can we like, can we go for another one for something? Like, I know if I'm doing like something on a dolly, or if it's like a super like extreme close up, like, if something's off, I'm just like,
we'll do it again.
We gotta do another one.
Yeah.
Like just give me one more, And it's a lot of that, like just pushing for like precision, and at the same time really trying to like keep everybody on time and
Yeah.
making sure everybody's
And it's
straight.
hard because sometimes you like
Yeah,
you don't try to fall behind because like if you fall behind,
100%.
it can really. I think in terms of moods, it's momentum. So
Yeah,
if the mood's down, it's down, you know.
it's down.
And
Yeah.
but you can't pick it up. You never know. Like who knows? You guys catch up by a miracle, you know.
Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times, like, you're in charge of the tone of production.
Yeah, 100%.
Because at least for me early on, I don't know if you felt this at all doing like any narrative aside,
Hmm.
like, I feel like the moment that you start to feel like a certain level of like stress or angst or something,
It's not hard to hide.
it's not hard to hide, but like if you don't like manage that,
Hmm.
then like it's gonna translate to everybody under you. So like
Yeah.
your camera team, your G&E, they're gonna start stressing about something. They don't even know what they're stressing about, and they're just like,
Yeah, like 'cause, like
you know?
like we said, like the DP, like being a DP. I think any higher
Yeah,
management role in film and stuff, like you are like the captain of those ships, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and like keeping these people in a good morality state and keeping them, you
100%.
know, it's like I think that a lot of people, I think even in terms of schooling and such like that, no one tells you about. Because I
100%.
think two things that you don't learn, I didn't learn in school
Mm-hmm.
was like obviously you have to have a good mood. You have to, like your mood is really a big factor. Like at the
Absolutely.
end of the day, you can't be a douche, of course, but
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
same time, like you got to make sure you have like your crew in line, you
yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But as well as like it's like you said, it is true stress. I didn't consider that like a lot of people don't think about that, like how your mood will affect everybody,
100%.
especially when you are like a DP and you're stressing like oh just camera team gets stressed out just changing a battery.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean I wouldn't be surprised, you know, because like
Yeah,
as
yeah,
being someone who's
yeah.
done ACing before, it's like
Yeah.
bro like just us changing a damn battery, it's like it feels like we're on a ticking
It's a
time bomb.
sport.
Yeah, it's like
Just like,
can you go give me 190 and
yeah,
recording it real
yeah,
quick, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
or 150, but
yeah.
no, like dude, yeah, you're right. It's true. Like your stress having I think having yourself like also too I think if you're stressed out is because you didn't plan enough, you know,
Yeah.
that could be a factor too, or just some things don't go wrong, you know.
Yeah, partially sometimes it's like out of your control, which I
Hmm.
try to like not be so like attached to that. Like if talent's running late, then it's like, okay, yeah, like we just have to shift the schedule. Like that'll happen.
Yeah.
Or if there's things that like I can't physically move, then like, all right, well, what are we gonna do?
Hmm.
I try to stay within the things that I can move. Try to manage my team that way, and kind of go about that. I guess that's kind of like my approach overall to like leadership is just like, again, what you're saying, like just keeping your guys in check, just making sure everybody's like level-headed and
Yeah.
making sure nothing's going on. And I'm wondering, how do you, like, in terms of leadership, like what is the way that you approach it? Are you kind of like, well, I guess I don't know, how would you approach it? I feel like people's approach is varying, at least from like DPs that I talk to.
Yeah.
Like what is your kind of approach to kind of leadership regardless of production scale?
I would say just being upfront, you know. I
Yeah.
think like example, if someone has a question and doesn't know what's happening,
Yeah.
just ask it. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing. Because example, I am, you know, Latino, like a mixed Latino kid, you know, and
Yeah.
my dad's very like my dad's influence on me has affected me a lot more. Where it's like I have to make sure that I am on top of my things, make sure that whatever I have to do, it's upfront and straightforward. Like I should not,
Mm-hmm.
especially when I am a DP, especially when I work on as a DP. You know,
Yeah.
like you have to make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because example, like I think in terms of leadership, like I think just having a good rapport with your crew is always a great thing,
Yeah.
as well as even just being like I said, being upfront. Like okay, like if someone doesn't know anything or doesn't know something, let me help them out and vice versa. You know.
Yeah. 100%.
I think leadership is a hard thing because you know every set is different.
Yeah.
You know, and you work with different people all the time. But
Mhm.
I think just like I said, having a good rapport and be like, hey, like as soon as you can establish like a language between each other and rapport, it's great. You know,
Mhm.
because I worked with Jonathan like once with Salve, and it was the same thing. Like kind of like we didn't know each other, you know, and
Yeah.
then we ended up working good together, you know, and we worked
Yeah.
on two things twice, and it's like it was the same thing. Like I was nervous a little bit, like even just
Yeah.
being like as an AC, like end of the day, like Sal was DP, he's first AC, I'm second,
Mhm.
and it's like you know, like I think working on the lower positions is like okay, if I can just like I said, now know what Sal is doing, I need to see what this AC is doing now,
Yeah.
and see what we do, and just even just communicating what I know, and making sure. I think too, especially making sure you guys don't bump heads.
Oh, 100%.
Because if you guys bump heads, it makes it way harder for everybody
Yeah,
else,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
as a camera team. Like
Yeah, 100%.
even doing grip because then I feel like grip and gaffers are usually fine. They work together. They work together because they work good together. You know?
Yeah, and it's more like physical than
Yeah.
like technical,
Technical,
especially
yeah,
if
because
you're
they just tell
digital.
you get this thing, all right, and rig it up. That's
Yeah,
it. But with
that's
camera,
it.
it's like I feel like it's like you're dealing with like I can't compare to being a doctor, but it feels like that. Like you're just like
Yeah.
getting all these tools and stuff like that, making
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
everything
yeah.
goes right. Because
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you're waiting on a lens change or a battery change, it's not a lot of time, but it feels like forever. It's
It
delayed,
does.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's best just to rapport, have a good rapport, make sure everyone's good. And when he's asking how their day is, making sure that they, how you good, how you doing,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
just talking to people. Because then it's a social game too, you know.
Yeah.
So I think if you
100%.
can navigate kind of the thin line of both getting business done and being social, you know, I think
Yeah.
you can work out. So,
Yeah, and like I feel like that's every conversation, whether it's like director or like if I'm doing a prep for a job. Before we even get into like the work minutia of it all, I'm just like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you doing okay? I remember we last spoke. You talked about this thing. How's that? Or whatever it is. Like, I think just they're people first, and you gotta like really know these guys. And I think understanding, like what you're saying, understanding where people are at is just like that's a huge thing. Because then you know, like, all right, like I'm gonna give him a little grace in this area, or this is why this is sort of I see where his headspace is.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think just being able to understand that these are that example, like they could be having a bad day, we don't even know. You know what I mean? And I think
100%.
you just want to make sure, for example, like you're working, it could be a 12-hour day, 8-hour day. It varies, you know, and even longer. And it's like you're gonna be with these people for a long time. Might as well just get to know them for a little bit and make
100%.
sure that you know, like we help each other out, you know,
Yeah.
and then communicate, use your words. You know, that's something I've like a gaffer homie of mine told me. He's like he's telling a friend of ours like use your words. It's like and just talk. You have to speak. That's the only thing. Like if you need something, ask. You know, if you don't know something, ask. And I think if you can keep that where it's like, hey, we're all helping each other out.
100%.
Because then we're all here to make something look dope.
Yeah.
You know, do something cool. You know.
Yeah, communication is huge, and there's definitely like I'm sure you've kind of had this experience too. Like there's certain directors where I'll kind of just look at them. Like we'll have an idea.
Yeah.
Just like, oh,
you don't even have to say nothing. Yeah.
Okay, we're doing it. And then they'll talk to whoever and I'll talk to whoever. And then it'll just, I think having that, being able to get to that point, whether it's like with camera or with, you know, director or whomever, like having that kind of creative synergy is like huge.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't talk about that. Like, I feel like two people I think even I focus on myself where it's like, I just have to make sure I do what I got to do.
Yeah.
But if you, like, especially when you're working with a director, especially as a DP, you have to be able to have that communication. Even like you said, where you just look at each other and like, all right, we already know what we're doing next, you know?
Yeah.
I think, a lot of people don't talk about that actually. I never really think I've talked about that even with directors and stuff. Cause like, for example, the whole short that brought this up, Tana, like, whenever I tell him something, he's like, yeah, like we're good. Let's do it. Let's do this thing. And like, especially when some directors let you do your thing, you know, like, you got to make sure like you're not crossing boundaries and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But no, you're right. Yeah. Like, I think that synergy is right. It's like, I compare it to, I don't know if you played 2K, but like 2K17, Michael B. Jordan's in there, orange juice type thing where it's just like everything's working in tandem.
Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing, dude. Yeah.
It's like,
that synergy is huge for sure.
Yeah, synergy, yes. I think not a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people bring that up. Like that energies matter in those type of environments.
Yeah. It's definitely gotten better because, I mean, we talked about being technical. I used to be like blindsided to like intuition sometimes, and like the director would feel like, come on, I thought we had this. And then it would turn into like, no, but we had my shutter speed is not certain, like, you know, some bullshit like that.
But that's the end of the day, that's what the director is meant to focus on. The creative stuff. You're meant to focus on both,
100%.
which is harder. And I feel like you should give yourself stock on that.
It's a balance.
Yeah, exactly. It's a balance. But I think directors, in the day, they're the vision, you know? And you just gotta, that's why I like DPing, because like I like being, like someone just telling me, I want this thing, I'm gonna make it look like that.
Yeah.
I bet, let's do it.
100%. Speaking of focus, before we wrap things up, I want to touch on Out of Focus.
Okay.
Your brand, production company, however you decide to label that. What is it? Is it with a team? Is it just you? What is something that you've been doing under Out of Focus?
So it's a group thing. Me and a couple of friends, we started it when like around 2021,
Mm-hmm.
2022.
Mm-hmm.
Because we really wanted to. End of the day, I think what all JPs want to do is work in narrative. Work in a
Mm-hmm.
movie.
100%.
That is the dream. That's the goal. And we started doing like little skits and short videos and like little short films.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, like at a certain point, we hit a point where like, and we don't work together all the time anymore. Everyone's busy,
Yeah.
lives,
Yeah.
and especially like you said, work. Everyone has to do different things to get jobs done.
100%.
But we try to do when we can is try to promote it as a platform.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure, like example, like okay, like it's a community in a sense. Like if I put something out, they'll put it on there.
Uh-huh.
If another homie that's not even like part of the circle of it can put their stuff and get more people to see it, why not? Even if it's like two more people, why not?
Yeah.
But it's more so out of focus. It's the motto is like enjoy everything, and it's the
Yeah.
whole point is to make sure everyone can see other things besides what we do,
Yeah. Yeah.
and be able to be like, hey, dude, my homie made a dope short. We put it on there. Why
Yeah.
not? And if
Yeah.
it's the type of feel we're trying to go for, and it has a good message and everything, why not?
Yeah.
And if it's a dope thing, it's posted. I think that's what they wanted. Like I was just along for the ride,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a great thing to like see people who want to just make sure it's a promoting other people and
100%.
giving people like that leg up to seeing new people can see it.
Uh-huh.
And we're very small. We're not even like I don't think we even hit like 500 followers, and it's like kind of like it's a small thing, but
Yeah.
it's like I mean honestly, dude, we're able to get more people and people are interested in what we've done.
Yeah.
And it's like I do think we should get more on it because by the end of the day we're busy. Everyone has their own thing going on, and but yeah, that was the goal, and I think we're trying to get more into it again this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
But
100%.
it's just we're all busy.
Yeah,
And I think that's part of
that's
life.
life. Yeah, and I think the collective mentality is really cool because you guys are like coming together and being like highlighting certain strengths of each other.
Yeah,
And it's just like, oh, this person's doing something cool. Let me highlight that.
yeah,
Oh, this person's da 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 da, and it creates this little like community that you guys are building. And I mean, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that it was more of a collective. That's
yeah.
pretty fun.
It,
Yeah.
it was a group. It was us five. It was the five of us. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I was like the DP guy. I try to shoot everyone's project when if they needed me to do it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everybody else like was like the director, editor, and like doing different things and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, we try to make it show more so like since we don't work together, like if someone has something dope
Yeah.
they want to promote it, just post it. And we
Yeah.
like it, especially why not?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, well, you've kind of touched on out of focus and kind of where that's headed.
Hmm.
What is kind of on the horizon for you? What kind of what kind of work do you have coming up as a photographer, as a DP? Maybe what do you hope to be
Yeah.
doing? What does the future look like for you?
Just get more music videos on my belt right now. I have a couple of things next month I'm shooting and I'm excited for. Just
Yeah.
like it's small, but it's just more. I just want to get more progress in because,
Yeah.
as I said, more reps, more
Yeah.
workout. It's more of a workout than anything. But
Mm-hmm.
um, in terms of like my end goal, in a sense, definitely I want to be I want to direct a movie, of course, be a DP,
Yeah.
if anything. Like
Yeah.
I want to work in the movie market. It's
Mhm.
hard. It's
100%.
it's hard and scary, of course, like, especially with the news we get now. But
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
trying to be optimistic because then I'm like, hey, like how things have been going so far, it's been a
Mhm.
game of luck, and I'm thankful for it,
Yeah.
And like I have a lot of things that are like just I'm hope this what it needs to happen,
Mhm.
And it could be all about talks, and then it doesn't happen, but a lot of stuff it's every month is like a new thing, and I'm excited, and I just want to keep shooting stuff and work with whoever and whatever facet, even if it's not DPing. Like I just want to work on more stuff and then make some more dope stuff, personal stuff too. I want to get a short film narrative under my belt this year for sure.
Castle is someone I've met recently through Jonathan Chan, a previous guest. We were introduced when creating an ad for the studio space that I have in LA, alexiogarcia.com/space. I haven't had much time to talk to him outside of that, and I figure what better opportunity than to do an episode with him. It's been really refreshing to see a new perspective on certain approaches to projects, and also just being able to have certain feelings about this cinematography journey, be validated like that. So, anyways, I hope you guys got some value out of this conversation. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace.